strength is your intuition feels like, okay, this guy is a dominant guy, right? It's subconscious. You're not going to say like, oh, this guy's a dominant.
Here's the thing. I deal with a lot of, in the anime community, right? I deal with a lot of guys who don't really know how to socialize, who, don't really know how to talk to women, how to talk to people. I'm always going to give them a chance. Maybe it might not pan out, and I can see that you're like, oh, what the fuck about that?
Because I've seen so much. I just told you the story of, there was a girl who, the guy she was talking to is rich, right?
Okay.
But she's not fucking him. She's fucking the guy who is dominant. You know what I'm saying? He just goes after what he wants.
And that's her preference, though. And that comes back to personal
It's not just preference. I'm saying, like, this is LA where it's like this shit happens on a mass scale.
It's preference. That's the
it is. It's clear you've never been to a BDSM club.
Okay.
There are a lot of people. That's not an outlier. That's not an outlier.
What I'm
in
saying,
fact,
look,
the archetype of the strong man who wants
is,
to be soft in bed is
She sees the rich guy. She sees the rich guy as boyfriend material. She said it herself.
Okay.
So she's making him wait rather than the guy who is direct, who's gonna go after what he wants. She's gonna sleep with him right away. So why would the guy who's rich, if he was up on game, wait that long when he can be like the guy who sleeps with her right away?
Well, also, it sounds like in that specific scenario, that is yet again another scenario of a woman manipulating a man.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
That's unethical.
You
that is absolutely
you guys
unethical.
sit here and say it sounds awful, but you guys are not talking to the other women who do this worldwide.
Absolutely, we are.
So why don't you guys,
we do, and we tell them it's not cool.
No,
and
I'm saying, like,
if they're listening to this podcast, this is for you too. This
it's
is
not
for
just
women.
the podcast. I'm saying, like, feminism pushes equality, right?
Yes.
Is there any equality in the dating market?
Currently, there's no equality in the world.
The goal is to seek that
right now. Yeah. I mean, like, think about it, right?
Despite
like
the current existence of it, I mean,
there is no equality in the world.
Exactly, there is no equality. That is
where is
very
the equality
true.
in the world?
But feminism
Equality?
is trying to reach the equality of that.
We're in LA.
We are in.
We're in Santa Barbara, actually.
In the Western world, there's equality between men and women. There's equality.
First of all,
well, it's interesting that you
equality.
say that, but it's a
Didn't
contradiction.
You just say that men and women aren't equal like 10 minutes ago?
We're different.
Yeah, we're different.
Yeah, so then...
that doesn't mean equal. You even said yourself financially we're not equal in what we contribute. We're not equal in what we contribute domestically. Yeah. We're not equal in how we approach relationships.
We're not equal in sex.
Yes.
How can you say that we're equal?
We're equal in the sense of when people use the term equality, for example, a man has certain parts down there and a woman has certain parts down there. That's an inequality. Yes. So in certain regards, we are not equal, but oftentimes, most of the time when people are talking about equality, we're talking about something very specific there.
So what are you talking about?
We're talking about rights and privileges.
Okay.
As we just had
and
a right
so,
women are paid
removed
72
from
cents
us.
to the dollar?
Well, the wage gap's been debunked, but
we don't even have to get
we don't have to go into that. Okay.
But let's just talk about equality in the dating market. I'm saying, like, all of you girls, if you guys wanted to go out to the club, you guys are getting in for free, right?
No. Are you kidding?
Not on a busy day.
I literally just had to pay a copay or whatever. What is it
called?
An entrance fee the other last weekend.
Can we suspend our disbelief for the sake of the argument?
Try to get the super chat.
I got a question for X. So this is gonna bring me back to the question I actually wanted to ask you earlier.
Okay, make it snappy.
In that regard to like the dating field and how you asking if it's equal. In my experience with the different dating apps, Bumble, Hinge, Tinder, I find that there's a different energy amongst, like Tinder's. People typically go to that more for hookups. Hinge, I feel it's more of a serious thing, and Bumble is kind of in the in between. What is your take on that?
All of them are for hookups.
Okay.
Like,
well, yeah. Ultimately, yeah. But
Yeah.
I feel like there's definitely like a concentrated energy when it comes to like Tinder. People are like, oh, I'm going to use that for like.
Look, what I tell guys is get off of Tinder, get off of Bumble, just go on Hinge. Like, if you maximize your profile on Hinge, like, you don't need the other apps.
Hinge is good. Hinge is a good one.
You know what?
Hinge is a good one.
I actually think that men should try to meet women in person more. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, no.
I don't think dating apps are healthy. I don't think they benefit anybody.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that if you're seeking a personal connection, it should always be in person.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Well, that's kind of like going back to when I was like on the apps and like having personal connections.
Personal connections?
No, personal connections, like having dates
Personal-
and going out to
Brian.
dinner
Personal
and enjoying the
connections.
beach. Oh, that's so
Brian.
funny. You know, I mean,
What-
like we can tease me all you want, right? But like realistically,
That's all right.
I was there for human connection. That was really what I was there for.
Yeah, you
And
connected with their bodies.
Oh my God.
Okay.
It's
so
the truth.
you
What
have
do
you
want?
have had
Oh,
sex
I thought
with
we
at
were
least 30 more
past
people
this.
than
I
you
just
already
told
went.
you the
Talked about
reality.
this.
Come
You
on.
connected
But anyway,
with it.
so what I was trying to make a nice, fun, easy point though. So what I was trying to say is, I think it's really interesting the difference between personal interaction and keeping it on the apps, because people will sit and chat on apps forever, but like, are you actually like really your own real person, or are you just like fronting and never gonna go anywhere?
That's
with
an
that?
L if you're spending a ton of time
Yeah.
talking.
I have talked to
you gotta
so
be
many
quick.
men who have like, yeah, I've never gotten off the chat, and I'm like, but why? Like,
Maybe they're not making the move. Well,
Lack
I mean,
of initiative.
you know what?
Yeah.
That's true, because I did make
Lack
the
of
move.
initiative.
It's
I
because
did
of
make
a
the
No,
lack-
please call me. This is my number
Yo.
here. We're gonna just put it on the screen.
honestly, like,
Hit me up to my
honestly, like
Instagram.
no more than 3 messages, and you should be pushing
That's
for
what
a
I'm
meet.
saying. Like, why are you
boom.
keeping it on the DMs?
Yeah, if you're into it, you're into
If
it.
you're into
Yeah.
it, then go meet the person.
Next.
Yeah, and I mean, it is hard to read somebody
Oh,
over
we got a little
messages.
fit
Like,
check
I
going.
agree.
We got a fit check. Okay, all right. There we go. Oh, we did a little spin.
Can we get a
Little
360?
Yes, yes. Woo!
Haram!
Okay. All right, let's
Gorgeous.
get these
We
super
love
chats.
it.
Let's get the super chats, guys. Okay. Yo, Derek. Did we? I think
Yeah.
did we do this one?
We
Yo, we got
always.
Davon Jackson. I'm pretty sure that was a TTS. Thank you, man. Zentience, dude. Thank you, Zentience and Davon Jackson, for dropping all the super chats tonight, man. Really appreciate it, guys. We have Davon with the. That was another TTS. One of the TTSs might have not gone through. I'm not sure. Zentience again, thank you, man. Appreciate it. We have Frankie K, $20 super chat. Value is innate in women. They are born with it. To attract the best mate, all they have to do is preserve it. Don't get too fat. Don't sleep around. Y'all have devalued the hell out of yourselves.
Oh, okay.
Men value fidelity and innocence.
Are you a virgin, Frankie?
Whoa. Oh my
No,
god.
they just like
Frankie.
girls who freshly
So,
turn 18. It's
why-
weird.
What happened
Oh,
to
ew.
the body shaming and shit? Like,
Oh, just
Or-
closer
The
to
That's
Body
what I'm saying.
count.
Like, why is he body shaming people?
Who?
Like,
What?
don't get too fat.
That's not body
don't
shaming.
sleep
That's
around.
just
I
kind
would
of
say
facts,
that's kind of
isn't
body
it?
shaming, because like he's saying
Well,
that.
or no,
fat is-
slut shaming
Again,
was
it's
the
a
word.
preference.
Slut
Yeah.
shaming.
Again, yeah, personal preference. That's what it comes down to.
Wait,
guys.
I question for you, Brian. You said that's not body shaming. He's saying don't get too fat. What do
Yeah.
you mean by
Yeah, what
that's
do you
not
mean that's not
body
body
shaming?
shaming?
And then that's like you just said
Wait,
that.
so-
Okay, if he were to have called
No, that's body
me
shaming.
a fat whore, that would be body shaming. But saying don't get fat,
But as a way
that's
to
just-
attract the
that's
best
just-
mate. That's saying that you cannot have weight on your body to attract
Yeah,
the
how
best
dare you have
mate.
weight?
You know what I mean?
It's
like,
the
He
reality.
said, but that's
but
just
like, but isn't that come down to
both-
the
but-
subjective,
It is a
objective?
societal beauty standard, and it's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Well, it's-
we bring up a good point. Society tends
Okay,
to be
forget-
fat
hold on.
phobic.
That's
Yo,
true.
You are correct, Brian.
It's
Society's
not-
fat phobic.
it's well, it's
They
not
are,
fat
that's true.
phobia. Hold on, let me talk. It's not fat phobia. It's not even a social construct. Being overweight on its face is unhealthy.
There are some guys who are into that.
We're not talking about that.
Oh, those
but
are
yes,
I mean,
there
we were,
there
huge,
we
like,
were talking
300
about that, and
Hold
you've
on.
changed the subject.
No, but yes, okay, there are men that are attracted
comes
to.
down to personal
there's
preference.
chubby chasers. There's men who are like thick women, whatever you want to call it. However, if you are too fat or overweight or obese, you are necessarily unhealthy.
But
not
see,
necessarily,
that's
especially
subjective.
if you
depending
are-
on how you define fat.
Yeah, and see, that's subjective to the person.
Let's try to have a.
Some people would say that I'm fat.
Logical.
And there was a
Right.
minute when I struggled with eating disorders and I was under 100 pounds. I was dramatically underweight. And that at the time, that was the expected societal beauty standard. And now people would consider me fat. So yeah, if someone called me a fat whore, for example, that is absolutely body shaming.
Okay, but let's maybe see if
Or
we can.
Neko, for instance, is perfectly healthy. She's been to her physicals.
Oh,
you're
you would
incredibly healthy.
If I told, okay, I will give some background. I've been an athlete my entire life. My number weight is something that I have struggled with a lot. And when I went on the Fresh and Fit podcast, I did read a lot of comments, and they were all calling me a whale. I'm serious. I get called a whale. I get called Shamu. Like I get called
my
so
God.
many things because
I gotta
men,
deal with hate every day.
like men do think
It's
that
not
I'm
right.
fat. And guess
It
what?
sucks.
You know
It
what?
sucks a lot.
I am proud to say I'm over 200 pounds.